Floyd Mayweather built an entire career, an entire persona on one word: money. Money Mayweather, 50-0. Over $1 billion earned in the ring. And for years, nobody questioned it. Nobody had to. He flashed it, he flaunted it, he made it part of the show. So when the internet started whispering that Money Mayweather might actually be out of money, people paid attention. And this time, it wasn't just random accounts and comment sections. It was Rick Ross. It was 50 Cent. Two of hip-hop's biggest names, both with real history with Floyd, both jumping into the conversation and landing on two completely different sides. This is the story of how one Instagram Live turned into a $50 million promise, a savage 50 Cent post, and a debate that's still splitting the internet. Let's get into it. It started during a Rick Ross live stream. A fan slid into his comments with a warning, something like, "Don't end up broke like Mayweather," and Ross didn't let it slide. He looked dead into the camera and said it plainly. No, he does not believe Floyd Mayweather is broke. Don't listen to the rumors. He said Floyd is worth way more than any of these articles are claiming, and that people need to stop with the nonsense. Ross's argument was simple. It's not just about how much money Mayweather already made, it's about how much more he's still positioned to make. In Ross's eyes, Floyd is still the face of boxing, still a walking business opportunity. Still someone who can generate a stadium-sized event just by putting his name on it. And Ross didn't stop at words. He said if Floyd ever needed access to real money, fast, for something big, there are people in his own circle who could make that happen immediately. He specifically brought up a possible matchup with Gervonta "Tank" Davis and said he personally would put $50 million behind it and book the Hard Rock Stadium himself. That's the number that made headlines. A rap mogul publicly offering $50 million to help fund a Floyd Mayweather fight, not because Floyd asked for it, but because Ross wanted to make a point. This is not a man who needs a bailout. Now here's where it gets more complicated. Because the money questions swirling around Floyd right now aren't just internet gossip. There's actual paperwork behind them. Reports have circulated about an IRS situation, about back-paid rent tied to a New York property, and one of the more specific claims involves a Miami jeweler, a lawsuit alleging Floyd purchased dozens of watches and chains, worth well over $1.5 million, and paid only a fraction of that before checks reportedly bounced. That lawsuit is real, it's in the public record, and it's part of why the "Is Floyd broke?" conversation reignited in the first place. So Ross isn't defending a man with zero controversy. He's defending a man buried in lawsuits and arguing that lawsuits and rumors are not the same thing as being broke. His whole point is that people online repeat a claim enough times, and it starts sounding like fact, even without real evidence behind it. And when you're one of the most famous, most flexed-on athletes in history, you become an easy target for that kind of speculation. But not everybody in Floyd's old circle was as quick to jump to his defense. Because right in the middle of all this, 50 Cent decided to say something too. And 50 doesn't really do subtle. Whenever Floyd Mayweather trends, it's almost a rule at this point, 50 Cent shows up in the replies. This time, he posted directly to Floyd. The message read something like, "Damn champ WTF. If you need some money, just call me." We could have kept this from getting so messy. Now the Fed's looking for you. Love you, bro. I'm not mad at you no more. Call me. That post spread instantly. Thousands of people trying to figure out, is this a joke? Is this a real jab? Is this just 50 being 50? Because here's the thing people forget. Floyd and 50 Cent go back to 2002. They were close. Real close. 50 has talked about how there was a stretch where he was worried about Floyd, where he'd visit him more than almost anyone else who called himself a friend. He's described Floyd's mindset around money as almost reckless by design. Spend it, make it back, spend it again, and said Floyd once told him flat out that a prize fighter doesn't fight for glory, he fights for the prize. The money. Nothing deeper than that. 50 has even pointed out, somewhat bluntly, that fans don't watch Floyd fight because they love him. A lot of arenas boo him the second he's introduced. People watch hoping to see him finally lose. Because in 50's view, Floyd never built the kind of people's champion reputation that someone like Muhammad Ali had. It was always about the money and nothing else, and that's part of why the friendship eventually cracked. 50 has said there was a period where he thought they might actually go into business together in boxing, something around a 50-50 split, but it never fully came together. And from there, the relationship turned into one of the most talked about industry fallouts in hip-hop. So when 50 posts something like, "The feds are looking for you, call me," it's not coming from a stranger. It's coming from someone who watched this money mentality up close for over 20 years. And Ross wasn't done either. After that first live stream, another fan came at him, basically telling him not to manage his own money the way Floyd allegedly does. Ross addressed it head-on, again doubling down that he simply does not buy the idea that Floyd is struggling. Ross even brought his own history into it, talking about a real financial relationship he had where he was still owed money on an investment, into the millions, involving Floyd. He said he hadn't pressed the issue hard because Floyd had just gotten out of a tough stretch, and Ross wanted to let him get back on his feet first, which in a strange way actually reinforces Ross's bigger point that Floyd has always had serious money moving around him, real investments, real business relationships, not the profile of someone who's broke, just someone whose overhead, lifestyle, and constant spending make it look messier than it actually is. Then there's the 50 and Ross relationship itself, which adds another whole layer to this. These two have their own beef, stretching back years, diss tracks, court battles, plenty of shots traded both ways. So when Ross stands up for Floyd and 50 turns around and trolls him in the same news cycle, fans aren't just watching a Floyd story anymore. They're watching three separate rivalries collide at once: Ross and Floyd's friendship, 50 and Floyd's broken friendship, and Ross and 50's long-running feud all tangled into a single trending topic. That's exactly why this spread as fast as it did. It's not one celebrity defending another. It's three of the most talked about names in hip-hop and boxing, all connected, all with history, all weighing in from completely different angles. So where does that actually leave things? On one side, you've got Rick Ross, publicly repeatedly putting his name behind Floyd, going as far as offering $50 million toward a potential fight, and insisting the broke narrative is nothing but noise. On the other side, you've got 50 Cent, someone who was genuinely close to Floyd at one point, taking a much more sarcastic tone and using the moment to needle him publicly about the lawsuits and the rumors everyone's been talking about. And in between all of that, there are real lawsuits, real dollar figures, real allegations that haven't been fully resolved in court. None of that alone proves Floyd Mayweather is broke, but it's also exactly why the rumors won't just disappear on their own. So here's the real question. Is Rick Ross right to go to bat for Floyd like this? Or is 50 Cent picking up on something that people closer to Floyd have noticed for years? Drop your take in the comments who's actually got this one right. And if you want more on this ongoing saga, make sure you're subscribed, because this story is far from over.